Welcome friends in this online tutorial class, and this is our topic for this session, properties of inverse trigonometric functions. So in this session we will learn the properties of inverse trigonometric functions and how to prove these properties. Okay, so let us see what is the first property. So this is the first property, and this is the first part of this property first, that is sin inverse 1 by x is equal to cosec inverse x less equal to minus 1 or x greater equal to 1. This is the domain of cosec inverse x. Then cos inverse 1 by x is equal to sec inverse x less equal to minus 1 or x greater equal to 1. This is the domain of sec inverse x. And third one is tan inverse 1 by x is equal to cot inverse x belongs to real number, is the domain of cot inverse x. Okay, so let us see proof of this property, and this is the first part. Sin inverse 1 by x is equal to cosec inverse x, and x less equal to minus 1 or x greater equal to 1. So all of us know that all the inverse trigonometric functions are angles. So cosec inverse x is also an angle. So what we have assumed here, cosec inverse x is equal to theta, because cosec inverse x is an angle, so we have assumed it theta. Then by the definition of inverse, cosec theta is equal to x. Okay, and one thing you must keep in mind here, that for all these values of x, that is x less equal to minus 1 or greater equal to 1, this theta must be in the principal range of cosec inverse x. So all we know that what is the principal range of cosec inverse x, that is minus pi by 2, this is pi by 2, minus pi by 2 to pi by 2 except 0. Okay, this is the principal range of inverse trigonometry, that is cosec inverse x. So theta must lie in this interval for these values of x. Okay, let me omit this one. Now cosec theta, because cosec inverse x is equal to theta, so cosec theta is equal to x, and this cosec theta is equal to 1 by sin theta. Cosec theta and 1 sin theta are reciprocal of each other, so here sin theta is equal to 1 by x, right, because cosec theta is equal to x. Now if we have to take inverse here, then 1 by x must be domain of sin inverse x, sin inverse function. Okay, so we all know that domain of sin inverse is minus 1 to 1, right? So if 1 by x has to be domain of sin function, then it must be in this interval for all these values of x. Okay, so 1 by x must lie in this interval minus 1 to 1, including 1 and minus 1. Okay, now if you see, if we take some particular values, suppose you are taking x equal to 1 by 2, because x equal to 1 by, and you have to consider those values, those are satisfying this condition, x less equal to minus 1 or x greater equal to 1. So all of us know that x equal to 1 by 2, that is, this is greater than 1. Okay, so what will be 1 by x? This will be 1 by 2, and we all know that 1 by 2 is between minus 1 and 1, less than 1 and greater than 1. That means if you take such type of values from here, then 1 by x always lies in this interval minus 1 to 1, including these two values minus 1 and 1. That means 1 by x is the domain of sin inverse function. That's why here theta is equal to sin inverse x, and for these values of 1 by x, for the domain values 1 by x, this theta must be in the principal range of sin inverse function. So we all know that, because theta we have already discussed earlier, that theta lies between minus pi by 2 except 0. So what is the meaning of this one? This one means that theta lies in the principal range of sin inverse function, and this is what I have told you, except 0. So theta lies in the principal range of this interval minus pi by 2 pi by 2, right? That is the principal range of sine inverse function. So this is justifying it that inverse we have taken here. Okay, now theta is equal to sine inverse x, and theta we have assumed cosec inverse x. So that means what it gives, sine inverse 1 by x is equal to cosec inverse x. So this is the required proof. So this is the proof of part first, and by seeing the proof of this part you can prove other two parts and you can check yourself. Okay, so let us see what is property second, and what property second says. This is sine inverse minus x is equal to minus sine inverse x, x less equal to 1 or greater equal to minus 1. Then tan inverse minus x is equal to minus tan inverse x, x belongs to real number. Then third one is cosec inverse minus x is equal to minus cosec inverse x, and mod x greater equal to 1, right? So here x less equal to 1 and minus 1, this is the domain of sine inverse x, this is the domain of tan inverse x, and this is the domain of mod x greater equal to 1 cosec inverse x, and we can write it x less equal to minus 1 or greater equal to 1. Okay, so these are the three parts of property second. Now let us see proof of first part. So this is first part, sine inverse minus x is equal to minus sine inverse x we have to prove. Okay, so I have already told you all inverse trigonometric functions are angle. So sine inverse minus x is also an angle. So what we have assumed here, sine inverse minus x is equal to theta, right? So therefore by definition of inverse, minus x is equal to sine theta. And here for all these values of x, because x lies in this interval, this theta must lie in principal range of sine inverse function, right? So that means we all know that what is the principal range of sine inverse function, that is minus pi by 2 pi by 2. This is closed interval, right? We all know that this is the, because here we have taken sine inverse minus x is equal to theta, that means theta is the principal range of sine inverse x, because all inverse trigonometric functions are angle, right? And this is the because x is the domain of sine inverse x, that means theta is the principal range of sine inverse x, and we can write it theta less equal to pi by 2 and what you can say, greater equal to minus pi by 2, right? So minus x is equal to sine theta, right? Now let me omit this one. So if minus x is equal to sine theta, then x equal to minus sine theta, right? And x equal to sine minus theta, sine minus theta. If x is equal to minus sine theta, then x equal to sine minus theta. Why? Because sine minus theta is equal to minus sine theta. This is the value of sine minus theta. Okay, so here minus theta is equal to sine inverse x, right? So how it comes, if we have to take inverse of inverse here, that means this theta, this minus theta must be in the principal range of sine inverse function, because this is the domain of sine inverse x. That's why for this domain, this minus theta must be in the interval of principal range of sine inverse function. So we all know that earlier we have discussed that theta is in the range of what? Sine inverse. This is theta is in the range of principal value of sine inverse, right? So if theta lies between this interval, then minus theta also lies in this interval, right? This is minus theta lies in this interval. Okay, you can take an example. Theta, if theta is equal to pi by 3, so theta is equal to pi by 3 lies in this interval. right? And if you take minus theta, so minus theta minus pi by 3, so minus pi by 3 also lies in this interval. The minus pi by 3 is less than pi by 2 and greater than minus pi by 2. So if you take another value of thetas that lies from minus pi by 2 pi by 2, then you will find that minus theta also lies in this interval minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. That means this function is invertible, and we can take here inverse. That's why minus theta becomes sine inverse x, because x is the domain of sine inverse function, right? So minus theta must be the principal range of sine inverse function, that is minus pi by 2 pi by 2. Okay, so here we have proved minus theta is equal to sine inverse x, right? Now if minus theta is equal to sine inverse x, then theta is equal to minus sine inverse x. Okay, that means initially what we have assumed, sine inverse minus x is equal to theta, and here we have got theta is equal to minus sine inverse x. So this gives us sine inverse minus x is equal to minus sine inverse x. So this is the proof of this part, and by seeing proof of this part you can check yourself, and you can prove other two parts also. Okay, now let us see the third property. What third property says? This is the first part, cos inverse minus x is equal to pi minus cos inverse x. X belongs to minus 1 to 1. This is the domain of cos inverse x function. Sec inverse minus x is equal to pi minus sec inverse x. Mod x greater or equal to 1. This is the domain of sec inverse x. Cot inverse minus x is equal to pi minus cot inverse x. X belongs to real number. This is the domain of cot inverse x function. Okay, now to see the proof of this property, and this is the first part, cos inverse minus x is equal to pi minus cos inverse x. Again same is here, because all inverse trigonometric functions are angles. So what will we assume? Let cos inverse minus x is equal to theta, right? And what I have told you, that same is going to here, because this for these values of x, because we have assumed cos inverse minus x is equal to theta, right? And minus x also lies in this interval. Whatever value you will take from minus 1 to 1, minus x also lies in this interval, right? So we have assumed here cos inverse minus x is equal to theta. That means theta is the principal value of cos inverse function. So we all know that principal value of cos inverse function lies between 0 to pi in this closed interval, that is 0 to pi. So theta is here 0 to pi, right? Okay, for all these values of x, that is x minus 1 to 1, theta lies in this interval, that is 0 to pi, closed interval. Okay, cos inverse minus x is equal to theta. Therefore by definition of inverse, minus x is equal to cos theta, and theta, what I have discussed, theta must be in this interval. Okay, because theta is the principal range of cos inverse function, right? Next, if minus x is equal to cos theta, that means cos x is equal to minus cos theta, right? Multiplying by minus sine. Okay, now here x is equal to cos pi minus theta, because cos pi minus theta is equal to minus cos theta, right? So here what we have taken, we know that cos pi minus theta is equal to minus cos theta. So this minus cos theta can be written as cos pi minus theta. Okay, we can take here cos pi plus theta. Cos pi plus theta is also minus cos theta. We know that cos pi plus theta is also minus cos theta, but pi plus theta, if we take pi plus theta, then this will be pi plus theta does not belongs to this interval 0 to pi, right? 0 to pi plus for all these such type of values, for all these values of theta, pi plus theta does not belongs to this interval 0 to pi, because if we have to take inverse of cos here, then this angle, whatever angle is here, this angle must be in this interval from 0 to pi. It must lie in this interval, right? So pi plus theta is not in this interval, that's why we didn't consider pi plus theta here, because we know that cos pi plus theta is also minus cos theta, right? So here we have considered pi minus theta, because cos pi minus theta is equal to minus cos theta, so minus cos theta can be written as, but pi minus theta must lies in this interval 0 to pi for all the values of theta from 0 to pi. So all, let us see, pi minus theta. Suppose we have taken a particular value in this interval 0 to pi. Suppose you can take pi by 2. So because pi by 2 lies in this interval, so pi minus pi by 2. If you find the value of pi minus theta, you will find that pi minus pi by 2. So pi minus pi by 2 is equal to pi by 2, and this pi by 2 belongs to this closed interval 0 to pi. So you can take for all other values also. That means for such type of values, whatever values you are taking in this interval 0 to pi, pi minus theta also lies in this interval 0 to pi. This is the principal range of cos inverse function. That's why, because here x is the domain of cos inverse function, that means this angle must be the principal range of cos inverse function. So here this must, for that pi minus theta must lies in this closed interval, and that we have shown here, that for all these values of theta that lies in this closed interval 0 to pi, pi minus theta also lies in this closed interval 0 to pi. Now here this function is invertible. We can take inverse for this angle, right? Let me omit this one. So that what we have concluded here, that pi minus theta belongs to 0 to pi, that is principal range of cos inverse x for these values of x, because this is the domain of cos inverse function, right? Now we can take inverse now. So pi minus theta will be cos inverse x. That inverse have been taken here, right? Okay, so pi minus theta is equal to cos inverse x. That means theta is equal to pi minus cos inverse x. What we have done here, you can take cos inverse x into left hand side and theta into right hand side. So this will gives theta is equal to pi minus cos inverse x, right? And what we have assumed, theta cos inverse minus x. So that means here, from here, both theta is equal to pi minus cos inverse x, and here theta is equal to cos inverse minus x. That means cos inverse minus x is equal to pi minus cos inverse x, and this is the proof of this property, cos inverse minus x is equal to pi minus cos inverse x. This is the first part, and seeing the proof of this part, you can easily prove other two parts also. Okay. Thank you.